Hello. Well, you know how every profession has its word terms, phrases that are unique to its profession, where most other people don't know what you're talking about? Like if some scientist used some strange phrase that no one else would know except fellow scientists. Well, within Photoshop, there's a term that Photoshop users all are familiar with, but if you don't know Photoshop, you might not readily know what this word is referring to. And that word is gradient. Do you know what a gradient is? A gradient is a color. It can be a solid color, but more likely a gradient is normally a blend from one color to another. Or it could be a blend of several different colors. Almost as if it was sponged, like you had a solid color and then it was slowly blended over into another color and then into another color. That's a gradient. And it creates some nice effects. So, let me show you how to create that. Let's go into View and Organize Photos. You can pick any photo you want that you think this might work on. It doesn't have to be the one I'm showing you right now. Yes. Like, you see that sky there? How it's a little bit blue over here, a little bit white over here. It's kind of like a gradient from blue to white, even though it's really a reflection on the picture frame. That's kind of what it's meant to look like. In any case, you will know what I mean as soon as I pull it up and do the effect. It's very easy to use, too. You can get very complex with it, or you can get very simple. We're going to grab the ducky. Let's pull that into the standard editor. It should be in your samples. So the duck has this white background, right? And maybe that's just not what we want. So, we're going to grab the magic wand and we're going to select that white background. So when we apply the gradient, it's only going to apply it to the white background, even though we only have one layer here. Obviously, if you had several layers and you had a separate layer just for the background, you wouldn't need to select it with the magic wand. You could just apply the gradient to that layer. But if you have a picture where everything is all in one, like this, select the area you want to apply the gradient to. In this case, I use the magic wand to select the background, white. Now the gradient tool is right, remember this shape tool we used? Right to the left. Gradient tool. The shortcut is G, and it's right below the brush tool. So we're going to grab the gradient tool, and now you notice up here we're given several options. First of all, if you go down to this drop down, we have several types of gradient. Blending one color to another, the foreground to the background. As you notice here, it's taking our green foreground and blending it to our black background. We have foreground to transparent, and then we have a plethora of other options here. You can also, just like you can with a lot of the other effects, choose a category, like all the metal gradients, all the pastel gradients. So it's just giving you a few here in the beginning. What we're going to do is we're going to, let's pick the blue, yellow, blue. So double click on it. You can edit the gradient, so if you didn't want the yellow right in the middle, you could change it. And then we can choose the type of gradient. Radial. Forgot what these are called. Oh yeah, the diamond gradient. In this case, we're just going to pick the simple one, the one that just fades from one color to another. You can select the mode, how you want it to blend. Just leave it at normal for now. And the opacity. Remember, that's how intense you want the color to be. Dither and transparency, just leave those checked. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab one corner and pull it to the other. Now, wherever I pull it to, that's where the gradient's going to be applied, like so. So you see how that blended our blue back to our yellow and then back to our blue. Now that I've done this, I realize that the blue yellow to blue isn't really the greatest choice because the duck is blue. So I'm going to undo. I'm going to pick a different gradient. I'm going to pick I think the purple to orange, or violet to orange, yeah. Let's use that. And I'll show you that you can do it, you don't have to do it diagonally like I did it. You can go down like this. See? So now if we deselect, go to select, deselect, let's see how that looks. Ah, that looks pretty good. I like that. I really like the violet to the orange. So whichever way you pull it, if I pulled it this way, it's going to start, the gradient's going to go straight down like that. If I pulled it this way, it's going to go diagonal. So whichever way I click and drag, that is the direction the gradient's going to go. So do some experimenting with that. There's all sorts of different styles of gradient, and like I said, you can hit the edit button and make your own gradient also.